Joining me now is Democratic Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthi of Illinois. Congressman, it's great to have you with us. Thank you, sir, for your time. Have you gotten any sense over the weekend of how the meetings that have taken place over the past 48 hours might have gone? Any progress being made whatsoever with the White House?
First of all, thank you for having me on, Eamon. Unfortunately, no, I'm not hearing much progress happening at these meetings, and we have seen divergent tweets from Mike Pence and the president about these meetings, but so far we're not hearing a whole lot of progress.
Okay, so the president today has been referring to these negotiations as a game. Take a listen to this.
I can say this. I think that the Democrats want to make a deal. I really do. I feel that.
What is the deal? Will you come down from
We'll call it something different. I don't think I have to. That's for this year. We'll call it, excuse me, we'll call it something different.
Does this apparent change from a concrete wall to a steel fence, let's say, matter to someone like yourself? Is there any barrier that you would accept? And if so, what would you want in return?
Well, first of all, there are no votes, there are no majority votes for a concrete wall, sea to shining sea. There's already fencing right now on 700 miles of the border. And I think physical barriers would be appropriate, and if we had to repair or enhance those barriers, I think people would be willing and open to negotiating money for those. But at the end of the day, Eamon, there has to be a concrete, no pun intended, proposal on the table that actually sets out the facts about what exactly is being demanded here.
Well, it seems that the president wants $5 billion to build a wall. That is what he's saying. And when I use the word wall, as I was mentioning, he's now morphed that a little bit into including steel slats or steel or what have you. That's obviously a non-starter for you?
Yeah, there's no way that there's a majority votes for a concrete 20-foot wall, which he's talked about, going 1,000 miles or 2,000 miles along the border. You know, he wants a brawl on the wall. That's what he wants for the purposes of messaging to his base. Democrats are not going for that. They are not going to agree to money for a wall. If we're talking about enhancing or tightening border controls or dealing with border security, that's another issue altogether. But a wall is costly, ineffective, and wasteful spending.
The president, Congressman, he's threatened to go forward on the wall without Congress's approval. He's, I believe, threatened to declare a national emergency to try to get the funds from somewhere else in the federal government, perhaps the Department of Defense. Is there anything Congress could do to stop him if he does make that declaration?
Well, I think, first of all, I believe that it would be illegal, and
why?
He would be taken to court because a national emergency would have to be declared in certain circumstances, which would not apply here, and it would also involve the use of the military in a way that you know, the framers of the Constitution and members of Congress never envisioned, and so certainly there would be legal proceedings, and I think that he would lose very quickly in the courts. That's why he hasn't built this wall and declared a national emergency already.
Let me get your final thoughts, Congressman, about your colleague, Rashida Tlaib. She got a lot of attention this week for using an expletive to make her case for the impeachment of Donald Trump. She's standing by her desire to see those proceedings happen. We also know Congressman Brad Sherman has reintroduced his impeachment articles. Do you agree with both Congresswoman and Congressman Sherman about the need for impeachment?
Well, you know, I was a former prosecutor here in the state of Illinois, and the first thing you have to do is investigate and then prosecute. I want to wait to see what Bob Mueller does with his report. I'm on the Oversight Committee, and we are going to perform our constitutional duty of oversight. So don't get me wrong, but we have to have all the facts on the table before we proceed to that very serious next step.